Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Han and today we are going to look at the installation of an e-commerce website that accepts zcash. So there are several solutions you can have for the e-commerce website. The most popular one is Shopify. But if you're looking for open source and free solution, the most popular one is based on WordPress and it's called Woocommerce. If you want to install Woocommerce, there are actually several ways to do so. They offer a hosted solution. So if you go to woocommerce.com, you can quickly create an e-commerce website by opening an account. That would cost you some subscription fee. The other solution is to go through WordPress, because Woocommerce is a plugin for WordPress. So again, WordPress, you have several offers. If you go to wordpress.com, that would be their hosted solution. So it's very similar to WooCommerce, but more generally speaking, is for WordPress, which is a blog website. If you want to do take in charge of hosting yourself, you would go to wordpress.org instead of .com. And you can either you click on Get WordPress, and you can have a WordPress hosting, so a couple of internet host providers which pre-install WordPress for you. So I heard pretty good thing about SiteGround. I haven't tried either of these because I've chose to do the priceless and also free option, which means that you are installing WordPress on your own computer and you are doing all the installation and maintenance yourself. So let's see how this would look like. So this is my WordPress.com. This is how configuration would look like for Nginx. The first line says that we are listening to on port 443, which is the SSL port. So that's typical for any secure website, and we are supporting HTTP2 as well as HTTP. The name of the server, the store, is store.cryptoblog21.xyz. So this assumes that you have already purchased a domain name. In my case, it's cryptoblog21.xyz, and you have set up the registry entry, the IP address of for this domain to be the server where you are installing WordPress, this server itself. If your server is behind a firewall, then it also assumes that you have forwarded the port 443 from your firewall to the actual machine in your internal network. The next line just says where we are going to install the WordPress files. Here we have the configuration for the SSL certificates. So you must have also retrieved or fetched or purchased certificates for SSL certificates. Let's Encrypt provides free certificates. The only drawback is that these certificates don't last very long. You have to renew them every 3 months, but it's free. Then this just says that the entry point of your website, this website WordPress, is index.php. If we have, oh, by the way, this configuration is actually available on the WordPress documentation. So mostly it's a copy paste of what they have. I'm explaining what it means because it also gives me the opportunity to describe the dependencies for WordPress. So any file that has extension PHP should be considered a script, and it's a fast CGI script. PHP has several implementations. So PHP is a language, and that implementation is called FPM. It's faster than the plain old PHP engine. So that's it for this part. The next thing is that WordPress will need a database, and in their case, they recommend MySQL. So I have also installed MySQL, or in fact here is MariaDB, which is the open source version of MySQL. So I think that's it actually for what you need for WordPress. So next we are going to download the files for WordPress. You can click here. I'm gonna use I'm gonna install this machine, so it's better that so I removed the file because our PC did it before. Alright, so let me first delete everything. I go to, what was the location? var local WordPress. Let's go to var local, and then I will remove WordPress, and I would also delete the database. MySQL database WordPress. Okay, and then create database WordPress. There's also a user. Okay, so let me create a user. Create user WP identified. Actually, it's WP at localhost identified by some C password here. Usually don't use this password for production. And grant all privileges to what? WordPress star to on to WP at localhost and flash privileges. Okay, so that's the database section, and I think we are ready to do installation of WordPress. So I have downloaded WordPress, and it should be in my home directory under here. Right, this is this file. So I decompress this file here. Okay, I need to change the ownership to the account under which the web server is running. So that's www WordPress, and then at this point I should be able to navigate to the website, which was store, something like store, yeah, that guy. All right, so now we have the administration entry point of WordPress, because it's the first time we access it, and we use English. All right, and that's the next step, is to configure the database. So let's go. Okay, database name is WordPress. Yes, that's correct. The username we used WP, and the password was WP1234. Okay, submit, and run the installation. Okay, so that's it. You can put the title name, say WordPress test example. Username, I will say admin. Okay, this password is way too hard for me to remember. Say 1 to 4, super weak. Again, don't use this kind of weak passwords. Your email, we'll put a dummy email, dummy at gmail.com, and install WordPress. So we have to remember the username is admin and password is admin1234. Okay, don't want to save this password. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest. And admin1234. No, don't save. All right, so this is the installation of WordPress. Now we can install the plugins. Okay, so we're looking for the Woocommerce plugin. Okay, install now. Okay, activate. Okay, so at this point we have to set up the store. Some basic stuff. Let me put some fake information here. Country United States. This is California. Okay, city San Francisco. Postcode 452. And then the tips. No thanks. Passion. And then yeah, continue. 10, no, continue, and then continue. Okay, continue this theme. Alright, so we have add my products is the next step. Let's add it manually. Test product. Poker chips. Dismiss. Put a picture here. How do I put a picture? Okay. Upload file, the good picture. And then get a price. So $1. Oh yeah, can add to cart. Let's see, we buy 10 of them. Add to cart. View the cart. Then we can check out. And we have to put the name here. John Smith. Let's see it have 1 Main Street, San Francisco 2, California. Like 4, 2, on code 555 and then place order. Alright, so we have one problem, is that we do not have a payment payment services. Basically, that our store doesn't have any payment methods. So that's gonna be the next step. I would like to install the second plugin, which is the plugin for BTC Pay server. So we have Woocommerce, but we will need a Woocommerce BTC Pay integration plugin. This one. So install now. Okay, activate. Alright, BTP record settings. Bitcoin not one sec. Okay, everything else is okay. So the only thing that is missing here is the API token, and for this we need to set up the BTC Pay server. So that's going to be the purpose of the next video. So far we have our store up and running, but we don't have any way to accept payments, specifically not in Zec. Alright, so stay tuned for the next video where we are installing the payment gateway for Zec. Until then, have a nice day.